Good morning, children. Welcome to your chemistry online class. Last class, we have discussed a basic idea about atoms. In that, we have seen atoms made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. How these protons and electrons are arranged in an atom? What is the arrangement? How they could arrange in an atom? This question is not arise today. There is a big history for the structure of atom. So we'll see the structure of atom today. How the protons, electrons, neutrons are arranged in atom. So we'll see the first model of atom. Let's start. So as I said earlier, there is a huge history behind the structure of atom. How the subatomic particles are arranged in an atom. So the question, the structure of atom, how will be the structure of atom arised in 400 BC by Democritus. Democritus said that Democritus said that atoms are matter is made up of small indestructible particles. All matter is made up of very small particles called atomos. He named that particles as atomos, which means unbreakable. But at the same time, some historians are saying that India also having an eminent position by giving idea about atom. Very famous scientist Maharshi Kanada, he is also given idea about atom. He also proposed a theory that all matter is made up of very small particle which is unbreakable, and he named it as Anu. So there will be some missing. Some people are saying Democritus given the idea, some people are saying Maharshi Kanada. So widely it is accepted that Democritus given the idea about atoms, but the India's identification also very important. So then it moves to Dalton's model. We have already discussed Dalton's theory. He has created the first atomic theory. But there are some limitations. We know that, we already explained that. And the very famous scientist J.J. Thomson given the first model of atom. By the identification of subatomic particles, there will be a clear picture came out. That is, they identified there are subatomic particles. There are particles smaller than atom. Atoms are made up of such particle. So from that, the model of atom came. How the particle arranged. The question came, and each and every scientist, almost all scientists given their own model of atom. So the first model given by J.J. Thomson. We'll see his model. So he is a scientist, J.J. Thomson. He is a physicist and he identified electrons. He identified electrons by his experiment of cathode rays. That is, he took an evacuated tube. In that a cathode is there and an anode is there. And he passed electricity through this. And he observed that there is a beam of light evolved, and which is moving from negative end to positive end. So he proposed that the beam of light are made up of small particles which having negative charge, because from negative end to positive end it is moving. So it is attracting towards positive end. If it is attracting towards positive end, it should be having negative charge. This was his identification. From that, he identified electrons. So, by identifying electrons, he proposed the model. We'll see his model. This is Thomson model. We can see here electrons and protons. The protons are arranged in the order of a spherical cloud. There will be a spherical cloud. This sphere, you can see a sphere. So this spherical cloud of positive charge. Sphere which made up of positive charge, that is protons. And he claimed that electrons are embedded in an atom. This is model. By seeing this, can you relate this one with anything else? We'll see that. Look at this. It's a watermelon. His model also known as watermelon model. Why? If you see here in the watermelon, there are seeds. So he proposed that the electrons are like the seeds of watermelon. That is, which is scattered in a sphere. The sphere which is made up of positive charge and the seeds which are electrons. So this model also known as watermelon model. And another name also there, that is plum pudding model. So watermelon model, plum pudding model. These are the name of J.J. Thomson model. Why it is known as plum pudding? Yes, now it is a time of Christmas. I hope in your home all will make cakes. And you have seen so many cakes in this lockdown time. Is it? Isn't it? So, what is there in a plum pudding model? Plum pudding. In plum pudding, there will be resins or cherry or something else. This also will scattered. Similar way, in a sphere, the electrons are scattered. That was his identification. So here you can see the electrons are scattered like resins in the plum pudding. So his model also known as plum pudding model. So he was a British physicist, and so atoms are positively charged sphere with negative electrons in it. So what are the postulates of Thomson's model? According to Thomson's model, an atom resembles to a positive charged sphere with electrons, which are negatively charged, present inside the sphere. And the positive and negative charge is equal in magnitude because atoms are stable. Atoms are neutral. So he proposed that atoms are neutral. Why? Because there will be equal number of protons and neutrons. These are the postulates of atomic theory. Atomic model of J.J. Thomson. Even though his model failed. Why? We'll see the limitations. Thomson's model could not explain the stability of an atom. That is, inside the atom there are electrons and protons. How these are held together? If there are protons and electrons, how it will be held together? He could not explain how electrons are arranged inside the atom or how it holds. This was one of the major limitation of Thomson model. And another limitation is he could not give any idea about nucleus of the atom. We'll see what is nucleus and all. Because at the same time, later Thomson, another model came. Another experiment came. That is gold foil experiment by Rutherford. He proposed and he identified or he arranged an experiment which is called scattering experiment, and Thomson model could not explain the scattering experiment. These are the major limitations of Thomson's atomic model. We'll see Rutherford's scattering experiment and Rutherford's model of atom in next class. So, J.J. Thomson's model is also known as plum pudding model and watermelon model. Electrons are scattered in the positive sphere. He could not explain the stability of atom and how the electrons and protons are held together in the atom. And he could not give any idea about the nucleus. So we'll see next model next class. Thank you.